Well, good morning. It's Teacher Terry, and bringing you another update on another online company. Well, as most of you known, and you may have seen on some of the glass doors, I used to really praise this company a lot, and I apologize for having to change my tune. But let me first of all start off. The students that I was teaching are adults. They have children, they have careers, they have professions. They are professional business people. Some are just housewives. Some are professional, degreed, experienced people who stop their work to take care of their families. These are great students. And when you're dealing with this type, you need to be able to relate to family. You need to be able to relate to business. You need to relate to the logic. They have topics that range way out of context. Like some of these are, how do you choose a video game? Most adults in China don't play video games. It's just, I want to use the term redundant idiocracy to have some of these topics for some of these adults. Even the university students are so wrapped up in studies, most of them do not know, do not care, and do not want to do video games. And there are some topics. Topics ranging from psychology, interviews, career changes, life changes, and then a lot of other general topics. The students are actually pretty good, but they're like all students. Some students get an attitude, some students get great. I had wonderful students. Now, one thing that Likeshuo did was I was constantly in the top 10%, doing 160 to 190 classes a month, anywhere from 1 to 4 students in each class. I had top ratings, and I'm talking about up in the top 50, top 60 all the time of all the teachers they had. And they've got these changes that you need to know about. Number one, the first one, the most deadly one, is you can't trust any of their TAs. I worked under TA Sola, sent me pictures, told me about her personal life, even mentioned she liked women, all kinds of stuff, and I've got all this documented. And then she, praises and do all this great stuff. I mean, seriously, I've got all these pictures she sent me, even her apartment, the whole bit. But she's really sucked up with these 3 people, and that's what it takes with them. She's young, she's 20, she's never been a teacher, never been in a classroom, has no adult experience whatsoever other than her age, and yet she is one that will judge you. She will critique you, and she will tell you exactly how to do your job when she's never done this job. But she was a nice person. You just don't want to cross her friends. And I'll just say Nick, Jared, and Katrina. If you mention anything about them, since they took the forum down, it's a lot better, because they used to stir up a lot of trouble and jump in there, and then you would get blamed for it. But we won't go there because it's done. It's mute now. Anyway, in the middle of the contract that I had, I was making 100 RMB. And in the middle of my contract, suddenly they send another contract and said you had to sign it or the next month you wouldn't get any classes. And it said that they're going into a 4-level payment system, which meant everyone started at 80 RMB, and you have to work yourself up to 90, then up to 105, and then up to 120 RMB. They wanted to generate a lot of competition and a lot of dog and pony show and a lot of things that really wasn't necessary. Now, and backdated it to the original date of the original contract. So they completely voided your contract without telling you on an immediate notice, this is what you're going to do. And immediately it caused a lot of uproar. A lot of people were losing income because they were budgeted and scheduled on the way it was. Now, the other problem that they have with Likeshuo is the AI program is their excuse. What they do is they massively overhire, like all companies do, because Chinese don't know how to manage labor. They just don't know how to project. Let's just get that out there right away. What they do is the AI program, the computer program, is set on 30-day consecutive month. It's not set month to month in a 12-month calendar. One of their problems that they have is that out of all the classes that you teach, and if you're teaching 160 to 190 classes a month, you've got hundreds of students every month. If you get 2 complaints, and it doesn't matter what the complaint is, if you get 2 complaints, a level 1 or level 2 star, they can terminate your contract. And it doesn't matter if you've got 1,000 5-star ratings and praise from students. Now, I got 7 complaints, and there is an appeal process because I did appeal, and 5 of them were in my favor. Should have erased them, taken them off the record. But they knew this change was coming. So what do? They send in other staff members because they all have English names so we can talk to them. They come into your class and they make a complaint. When they make that complaint, flags the AI program. Then they come through, and if you don't get another complaint past 30 days, it drops that one off. That upsets the cart. So, in the 7th, 8th month that I've been there, they can't get him another one, so they send in someone. And this is what, and I've got this on record too. He says, I'm looking for a teacher that fits more my style of learning. I'm summarizing. And this is a great teacher. I'm rating him a 2-star so I don't have to take this teacher again, so I can find someone. I don't want this to affect the teacher at all. Actually, in writing, he's saying this in Chinese. I've translated it. So that automatically negated a complaint against me, but there's no way that Likeshuo has to allow the student to go to them and say, look, I'm looking for another teacher. I really don't think this teacher fits me, because then that also would be viewed as a complaint. You see, they don't know how to separate complaint from request because Chinese don't understand how to be civilized thought. You know, how humans really interact with each other. It's that top-down communist deal. Do what you're told. This is the way it is, and this is what it means. Don't interpret it. Come on, really? So, 2 weeks later or a week later, they send in this girl named Mia, and she comes in there and she makes a complaint and puts in a statement, you know, I was just in a bad mood. Maybe I just wasn't feeling well. You know, maybe she had COVID. I don't know. But she actually said in there, probable deniability that it's her fault. And I appealed it. I get this message. I'm just having trouble with you. You're just causing problems. Complaints too many. I'm going to terminate you. And I said, no, I think you need to give me another month and let me prove myself. She says, okay, I'll do it for you. Now, I did this for a whole month, and I went from 124 to number 47 in 8 days. I've got all 5-star ratings running across the top. They sent in a ringer named Alan, another one of their TAs, and immediately give me a topic, video games, and I asked right away, do you like video games? Which one do you play? I don't like video games. I don't play video games. No matter what you tried to do, he would not engage in this topic. The other one was there earlier by himself. We're waiting on this guy to come in. We were going to free talk and just go a whole nother direction, but then this guy comes in, which forces me to kind of adhere to the lesson plan. I should have made an immediate decision to change in free talk, so I will take the hit on that. But still, it had gone into the next month. It was in the second week, and what they did was it might have got rid of the legitimate complaint that I had beat, but it kept that lady's complaint, which threw me into the AI program. I had 2 complaints. So I appealed it. I get an email. I just sent you an email. I got a notice of termination. I may appeal it, but they locked all my records down. I couldn't get my records. I couldn't show any of my good points. I couldn't show any of my good things that people had done. I couldn't use any of my data to make my appeal. I haven't heard anything from my appeal. And what they've done is, at the time that suspension went in, I was at 120 RMB. I looked at my deal now, my pay, I can still see it. I just can't get classes. And it's dropping down to level D to 80 RMB. That's the game they play. She won't answer me. She won't give me any information. Solus refuses to talk. And now I found out what they're doing, because they've lost their children's division. They're trying to start weeding out slowly lots of different teachers under these different ways, so they can move their Great Dog and Pony Show teachers. And some of them are really good. Some of them are older teachers. And I don't have a problem with the older teachers. And they move them over. But they've hired a lot of these young 20s that's never been married, that's never been out of their room, that's been playing games all the time, have no children, have no life experience. Some of them's never even interviewed for a job before. They've never had to consider changing careers. They don't know anything about psychology. They don't know a lot of these topics that are being given, and yet they're in there faking it, lying. I had one that lived in my house with me, and I used to listen to him. He had 2 monitors, and he had it set up in a certain way to where he could read all of these just quips. And then this fake laugh, and totally fake. The guy was a total con. Oh, but he's a good-looking guy. You know, got that gay Asian look and everything, you know, and he's all that, you know, he's a great suck-up, believe me. You'd really enjoy being around this guy. He's not even allowed in my home anymore. But anyway, he did have some good points. He was a great children's teacher, but he was a complete buffoon to teach adults. But they like that. So Likeshuo is in the process, like many companies, of getting rid of their older teachers, bringing in these young, inexperienced people to teach adults, and they're wondering why their stock is going all the way down to 52 cents as of this morning, or what I looked at. They can't understand. You gotta have adults that can relate to adults. Likeshuo will screw you. Likeshuo is Meten. Look at Glassdoor. Look at all of the statements that's mentioned with Meten. Then go look on Glassdoor. Do the reviews on Likeshuo. All of those really great reviews, you're going to find 2 of them from me where I really praised them. I even praised Solus because of when you first come on, they really make you feel like you're a king. But as time goes on, you realize that you're a mushroom. They keep you in the dark, and they feed you a bunch of crap. Read these complaints. Multiply them times 100, and you're going to be pretty close to it. Avoid Meten. Alan Payne, one of the higher management, doesn't have a clue how to run this company, and he allows these TAs to destroy people's lives. Kevin, the new guy that's coming in with Likeshuo, I think he may even be the CEO. I'm not sure which one. One's a founder, one's a CEO. They have not a clue what's going on. All they're interested in is making money, but they're letting these TAs, or letting these micromanaging, non-experienced people, their staff, destroy lives of career-dedicated teachers in favor of this beautiful, young, inexperienced look. To them, image is everything. Quality is nothing. Likeshuo, in its essence, is a Christmas package wrapped real pretty and with an empty box. Hope you're taking this seriously, because I'm still waiting now. It's been a whole month. I haven't heard a word, and I have some legitimate concerns. Thank you.